Hello and welcome back to the Cars.co.za Weekly News. I'm David Taylor, and in this week's episode, a pair of affordable PHEVs are about to touch down, which then leads me to ask just how well are new energy vehicles selling? Plus, it's Hyundai's turn to make a Bakkie. Let's go. First story of the week, plug-in hybrids. We're going to see an influx of these type of vehicles in our market over the next 12 to 18 months. And we've noticed a really big shift in strategy. I mean, a lot of legacy brands, plus some of the new brands who decided we're going all electric only, they've decided to a U-turn. I mean, we could have seen this coming. This was always going to happen. And EVs are not the best strategy, so now we're trying plug-in hybrids. These are going to be the new flavor. Sure, some legacy brands already have plug-in hybrid vehicles, but to be fair, there's nothing really under 900,000 Rand, which is a bit of a problem in our price-sensitive market. Enter the Chery Group with Omoda and Jaecoo, and they've just launched the Omoda C9 plug-in hybrid and the J7 Jaecoo SHS, which is their version of a plug-in hybrid. Let's get stuck in. But before we get into product specifics, what exactly is a plug-in hybrid? I mean, for me, it's basically the best of both worlds. You have an internal combustion power engine, plus you have an electric engine with an assist. You can plug the thing into an external power source, or you can use the vehicle's internal combustion engine to charge it up. Basically, the benefits are low consumption because the car is going to rely on its electricity, plus you'll have the added performance because you now basically have two engines. Right, Jaecoo J7, technical data, 1.5 litre turbo electric motor located in the gearbox. Combined output, 255 kilowatts, 525 Newton meters. It can run on pure electric power, which is perfect for those traffic jams, up to 90 kilometers of pure EV range. Jaecoo's claiming 1,200 kilometers on a single tank of unleaded petrol with a combined consumption figure of 4.7 liters per 100. This sounds too good to be true. The stylish Omoda C9 has a similar setup, 1.5 litre turbo petrol, but it has 4 electric motors, 440 kilowatts, 950 Newton meters, and while there's no claimed 0 to 100 performance figure, I reckon this thing is going to go under 6 seconds to 100. I mean, not only does it look good, but it should be a rocket. But unlike most performance cars where you're driving at full throttle and chowing all the petrol, this is going to be quite the opposite. Listen to these numbers. Pure EV range, 150 kilometers. So the engine will not switch on. You can just tootle around town, 150 kilometers worth of distance at low speeds in your electric power. Amazing. Consumption figure, 1.4 liters per 100 and a combined range on one tank of unleaded of 1,100 kilometers. That's nuts. It's impressive, that's for sure. But all of these claim figures, I mean, we always take them with a pinch of salt. And I see them as a target, a time to beat, a score to hit. And we're going to do our best when we test these cars to match them. At this point, you're going, well, this is really awesome, but these things are going to cost a lot. And the answer is no, they're not. And pricing right now is on your screen. Yes, the C9, I mean, it's positioned as a large, premium, high-end SUV, so it's priced accordingly. But for me, the star of the show is the Jaecoo J7 SHS. It just seems like it's a lot of car, a lot of performance for that money. And interestingly, it's not that crazy expensive in comparison to the standard car. So now this SHS is the flagship. And if you take something, for example, like the RAV4 hybrid, that flagship plug-in hybrid is significantly more expensive than the standard hybrid RAV4. So this is food for thought for other brands. Will anyone buy these cars though? And cynically, I look at them and go, that's a very good question. And this leads me into the second story of the week, which is how well are new energy vehicles selling in South Africa? Our data and news specialist Ryan Bubert sifted through all of the data and he's uncovered new energy vehicle sales stats for the first quarter of 2025. As a reminder, new energy vehicles comprise of your battery electric vehicles, your plug-in hybrids, and your standard traditional hybrids. As we're all aware, interest in EVs have slowed down, and this is reflected in the numbers. 16% year-on-year decline, with only 276 units, electric cars that is, sold in our market this quarter. Interestingly, it looks like Volvo's leading the charge. See what I did there? Swedish brands sold 114 EVs in this period, and that's things like your XC40 Recharge, your EX30, and of course the new flagship, the EX90. Now, back to plug-in hybrids, they're on the up. And like I said, this segment is only going to grow in popularity. If I look at the numbers, 241 units sold in the first quarter of this year. That's 71% year-on-year growth for plug-in hybrids, and you can see why these things are going to be popular. Last year, the total sales figures for plug-in hybrids, 728 units, so we're well on the way of smashing that target. We don't have details on which PHEVs were proving popular, but there are options from most premium brands like Volvo, Jaguar, Land Rover, BMW, and so on. Finally, onto your traditional hybrids, and that portion of the market just keeps growing. 14.8% year-on-year growth, 2,970 units sold in the first quarter of 2025. Any guesses which model it is? Yes, obviously, it's Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. You know, the one that's built locally at Toyota's plant in Prospecton, KZN. Awesome car. I mean, if you're looking for just an A to B runaround that has all the bells and whistles, low running costs, great car, Corolla Cross Hybrid. Finally, onto the week's last story, and I would argue that this was a foregone conclusion, like this was going to be the most predictable vehicle announcement ever. But finally, Hyundai has said, fine, we're going to build a double cab Bakkie as well. This confirmation comes from Hyundai Australia, and remember, they're a lot like us. They like to buy, they like Bakkies, although they call them used, but we can't judge them too hard for that. And there's a very interesting quote that came from President and CEO of Hyundai Motor Company Australia, Don Romano, and he told Car Expert this. Let me read it to you because it's very interesting. We're going to be there this year. We're going to come up with a solution that everyone can say, yeah, this works for me. We're going to have to find that common denominator that's going to have to fit both Australia and global. There'll be some compromise, a compromise that could be diesel, be a hybrid, it could be a plug-in hybrid. I mean, that's pretty awesome. They're going to say, right, we're going to build a Bakkie and it's going to have multiple options for powertrain. Give people a choice. That's all I ask. In the dream world, I would love to see a right-hand drive Hyundai Santa Cruz. You know, that America-only little monocoque chassis, cute Bakkie. That thing would be awesome. But in the real world, that thing's not leaving America. It's only going to be left-hand drive. So that's off the table. That's not happening. In the real world, we're more likely to see the Kia Tasman platform being used for Hyundai's Bakkie. As you were aware, Kia and Hyundai, they're basically the same WhatsApp group. It's sister brand. They help each other out. They share engines. They share platforms. But my only request is, please, can we have styling that's not as extreme as that Kia Tasman? I've seen one in the metal, and it is a lot. It's not going to win everyone's hearts over. And I beg Hyundai to make something that's a little bit easier on the eye. And that brings me to the end of this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I always enjoy chatting to you about car-related stuff in the comments. But as a reminder, Cars.co.za is not just a content platform or in a YouTube channel. We actually sell cars. Over 74,000 vehicles for sale. We also have an array of amazing comprehensive tools that will help you make your car buying journey that little bit sweeter and easier. I will not see you next week as I'm taking a little bit of a vacation. I need a holiday. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, bye.
Hello, you join me and my Fern in the Cars.co.za Cape Town office, where I have been asked to tell you about our new quick search feature in our app. Now, if you don't have our app, it's been downloaded by over 2 million South Africans, completely free. It's in any app store that you use. Go ahead and get it right now. And we've just launched a very cool new feature. It's a first in South Africa. So it's basically plain English search. And this is how it works. You open the app, and in the quick search bar, you just type what you're looking for. So BMW X3 Silver Gauteng, and then bang, hit, I've misspelled Gauteng. Then hit search, and we pre-populate all those filters for you so you don't have to fiddle. And then you get, of all the 72,000 cars on our site, all the silver X3s in Gauteng for you to choose from. That's actually quite clever. I didn't know it could do that. Should probably read my emails sometimes.
Let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.